wow.
It's our 13th episode.
You've got a hair in your face.
All right.
Is it connected to the head? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
This is our 13th episode.
Yep.
And 13 to me is an unlucky number, which
But-
you reminded me.
Yeah, to me, it's my birthday, so crazy how that works.
That's
How you've decided that's your
I-
least favorite number.
I know, that was a revelation on a
That
previous
was a Freudian
podcast.
slip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've decided that today we're going to talk about bad habits.
Bad habits.
We're going to have trouble talking about this because we don't have too many bad habits.
I do
Or at
not.
least I don't.
What are you talking about? Miss Perfect over here.
No, I was kidding, obviously. I think that one bad habit you and I share is procrastination,
Oh, yeah.
maybe tied in with impulsivity.
Oh, yeah. Well, tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., I'm going to the doctor to get ADHD meds. So maybe one of us will no longer be like this. but probably not.
Probably not.
Oh, God. You like my hat?
I like your hat.
I just put it on.
You just bought it.
I just bought it and I just put it on for this podcast.
It looks nice.
I am hot.
You didn't give me. You didn't give me an opportunity to put on a hat.
Did you want an opportunity to put
No.
on a hat?
You know what I was thinking about the hat though? Today I was going to put on when we did that recording about the slogan, the highway safety slogan.
Oh, yeah. Watch our TikTok because that will be up.
Yeah. And it's funny.
Will it? Yeah, it will be up. We'll put it up.
And
guys, and it's funny.
Okay.
Okay.
Enough of the small talk. Let's get into the serious topic of procrastination.
Yeah.
I was at your house 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I move very slowly. And true. I know they've never seen me move slowly, but
what
I
is
move
that
slowly.
story that's like, is it the turtle and the hare?
Yeah.
I'm the hare. You're the turtle.
I think it's the tortoise and the hare.
Oh, shit.
What's the difference between a tortoise and a turtle?
That is not something I'm equipped to answer.
Okay.
I do not have that information.
So
I feel like a tortoise lives longer.
is it a kind of a turtle? Or is it a separate animal?
Well, I shouldn't say any confident answer here, but it's a turtle.
A tortoise is a turtle? Okay.
But a turtle, there's different kinds of turtles. And I think
Oh.
a tortoise is a kind of turtle.
Okay. She always surprises me with her information that she carries, her trivia that she has.
Yeah, but I could be spreading fake news because
Yeah.
I really, truly don't know. Anyways, enough with the tortoise already.
All right. Let's get back to the main point. Okay, the main point is procrastination.
The main point is what just happened here.
Yeah, that's pretty typical of
Yeah.
our conversations. So, anyway, episode 13, procrastination. Let me just tell you that the fact that we're doing this topic on procrastination is pretty darn funny because we did not know what we were going to talk about.
We procrastinated. I was just going to say this is going to be your least favorite episode because you hate the number 13. So you just have already doomed us from the start.
I don't think
Wait,
so.
I actually didn't think we were doing procrastination. Now that I'm thinking about it, that was going to be like a rebel, like in ways in which we've rebelled.
You know, it's gonna move into bad habits.
Oh, okay. I'm not with it.
So I came out of Hilary's house slowly about 3 weeks ago after I'd been there for maybe one night. Hilary and I basically can deal with each other every other week for one night. And it's pretty intense when we do that because we're working on content in our project. And so I was exhausted and I got in the car and it was cold. And Hilary never comes to my house or never gets in my car without leaving stuff behind. Never. Like I can see it happening every time. Usually it's a coffee cup.
I like coffee. I don't know.
I got in the car and like there's a clip. What do you call that? A barrette or a clip?
A hair clip.
A
Yeah.
hair clip in my console.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God. So I'm like, I cannot go back in her house and return that. So I rolled down the window and I threw it as hard as I could. And
She littered.
and I left it on the driveway and didn't think to tell her for like at least a week. And when I told her, hey, when the snow melts, you'll find your clip.
That's the thing. That's the thing that is confusing me. You didn't tell me right away. You
But
just said I threw it out. Hey, oh, by the way, about a week ago, I threw a hair clip
out the window.
Out the window. You probably won't find it.
Anyway, you found it.
I did. I found it
And now-
yesterday.
yeah. And what did you do?
I found it. I took a picture of it. Said nothing. I just sent it to you.
And
then I went along my merry way, and it's still in my driveway.
ta-ding!
Never picked it up. Now it's like kind of like a monument, you know?
Only you and I would get the humor of this.
It's an attraction. Now people can come see it in my driveway.
Yeah. This is where I threw Hilary's barrette out the window.
Can't you just picture her going? And I just want to clarify, it did not make it that far because I know where your car was parked and where the barrette is about 3 feet.
But it was such a good feeling because I had had enough. I was ready to get home. And it's like I couldn't deal with one more thing. Just throw that out the window, put it in reverse, and peel out of there.
You do realize that, like, next time you leave, like, your cane in my car, I'm just going to roll it on the window. Toss it out.
I think there's something very freeing about that.
It does sound really freeing. But I will say that I get bullied every time I leave you.
Bullied?
Yes, I get bullied in the family group chat. And my mom will take a picture of what I've left in the car and send it to my brother and I and say, Hilary was here.
Fair game.
Nothing about that is fair. Well, I am.
Your brother and I do get a kick out of that.
Yeah, well, you guys are losers. I've got places to be. I don't have time to think about the things I'm leaving behind. Godspeed. They're no longer mine. They're yours. They're a gift from me.
Okay.
I'm leaving you a little treat.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Your DNA is everywhere. And I mean everywhere.
Okay.
Dateline.
My mom one time said, I hope you could be on Dateline one day. I hope you might be on Dateline one day.
I did not
yes,
say that.
you did verbatim.
I was thinking maybe like an attorney.
But
or
like an attorney. You thought I was going to be an attorney?
A spokesperson.
Look at this hat. And a spokesperson for Dateline?
I didn't mean you were going to be a victim.
Well, if I was on Dateline, I'm either hosting, which that's
dead.
covered and we love it, or I'm dead, or someone I love has died, or I have killed, or I've witnessed. I don't want to be any of those things.
Yeah, but think about it. You might get to meet, I was going to say Jim Morrison.
Keith Morrison? Jim Morrison. I might get to meet Jim Morrison when I'm dead. When I'm dead and you're doing a story on me.
Anyway, Dateline. No. I'm sorry if I said that. But it is true that your DNA is everywhere.
Why are you saying that? First of all, it is true that your DNA is everywhere. I've never seen anyone shed hair like you. You are any place you've been, you have been considered a suspect if a crime has happened there.
Why?
Because your hair
is everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's attaching. I bet we could make a whole wig out of the hair in this room.
I have no words. Okay, let's move on from this.
She did mail me a wig recently.
I did have a wig delivered to her house.
Yeah.
But I told you it was coming.
Oh, by the way, there's a wig arriving at your house.
It's because
today.
We're going to use it in an upcoming This Is Where.
Yeah. It's actually horrifying and
the event?
Funny.
No,
not the event, the wig. I'm scared of it. Yeah. Imagine opening a box and just having it looks like a scalp. You're like
I even told you what it was.
It's still scary. I don't like it.
So I think most people procrastinate a little bit. But for me, most of the time, I feel procrastination works out okay.
Hey, you know what I've learned in therapy?
What?
It's okay to procrastinate. If it works for you, then That's how you need to do it.
And see, I didn't even have to go to therapy. I just
You
discovered
just
it
did
on
it.
my own. But sometimes it doesn't. But
Also, you do need to go to therapy, but not just for that.
well, we're going to be editing a lot out of this.
Why?
No.
You already do go to therapy. You do go to therapy.
Yes, I do.
We stand therapy.
And
We love it.
and you can tell that it helps a lot. It's made a big difference in our relationship.
Honestly, yes.
Yeah, it has.
Honestly, yes. Honestly, therapy works. Everybody should do it.
Do not know why you're suddenly talking in a British accent.
Why not? Look, I'm
this
dressed like I'm dressed like a little British.
This is going off the rails. Let's get back on the rails.
We have ADHD.
So
Next week it will be different because I will be medicated. Stay tuned.
so we were last night. We were trying to brainstorm a list of bad habits, and I didn't think I had too many of them, but
Who self-proclaims? Earlier you said I don't have any bad habits.
well, I'm coming to the.
I don't have any bad.
I didn't mean that.
Okay, good. Thank God.
Come on.
You're full of bad habits.
Yeah, look at all the TikToks. There's a bad habit in everyone.
That's a good point. TikTok itself is a bad habit.
Yeah.
So,
so one of my bad habits, I've already said, was procrastination.
not a thought in that head.
Like when you think about habits, you think about people that drink or smoke or eat too much. I definitely eat too much, but like on those things. But they can be like little things like I'll put this out there just to test if he actually ever listens to this podcast. Like one of my bad habits when I was a child was maybe a few times blaming something I did on somebody else. Maybe that's not a habit. Maybe that's a dire personality trait. But I had a chatty
This
Cathy.
explains a lot.
I had a chatty Cathy.
Was it your personality?
Was what my personality?
Chatty Cathy? You had a chatty Cathy in your soul.
Do you know what a chatty Cathy is?
No.
A chatty Cathy was a very coveted Christmas present, probably in 1962
Okay.
or 1963. And it was a doll named Kathy.
She chatty?
And she was chatty because you just pulled a cord in the back.
Yeah.
I actually have one in my attic. I have a chatty Cathy in my attic that I bought at a yard sale many years later.
Well, yeah, I want.
Yeah. Well, that can be arranged if you climb up in my attic.
Ugh.
But and so I pulled the cord and it broke. And I blamed it on my brother. Now, I don't know if he got in trouble.
Well,
I don't even know why I felt like I had to blame it on him.
As if he really needed the Kathy to be chatty with him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow. I used to I used to do this like ow. And then I'd be like, "Ryan, don't." And then Dad would be like, "Ryan, stop hitting your sister."
Another bad habit I had. I'm sorry, that wasn't a good segue.
You're not a chatty Cathy on this. You have an agenda. You have an agenda and you must follow it.
I'm wondering if I ever punished you because you faked out hitting Ryan.
I think you punished Ryan because I'm such a great actress.
Or that's what I meant.
Oh.
Poor Ryan.
Oh, yeah. He did hit me plenty of times where he didn't get in trouble, I'm sure.
Oh, I don't think so.
One time Ryan got a detention and couldn't go to the school dance, but I got to go. And I'm 4 years younger. I think I must have been like 5.
Yeah, I think we should tell that story when he's on.
Yeah, but stay tuned.
Yeah. Because he was my student at the time.
Yeah, he also has a great bad habit story that he needs to tell.
Yeah. Anyway, one bad habit I used to have, probably up until the time I was 16 or something, was when my parents would go into the grocery store and leave the kids in the car. My brother and sister would be in the back seat, and I'd be in the front seat sometimes, and I'd beep really loud, but I'd drop down like this. The people are just looking in the car at my brother and my sister.
What did they do?
They probably got really mad at me.
Have you ever seen those videos of the dogs that wait for their owners in a store and they're just laying on the horn?
No.
I gotta send you one
I
of
used
those.
to think that was just such a funny trick
It is funny.
to beep like that.
Didn't you dress as a witch once and hide in under the bed of your little brother?
Yes.
It seems as
I
though
don't think I dressed as a witch, but I said I was one.
Oh, you just announced I'm a witch. Everyone's like, we know.
I was under his bed, and like he goes to bed, and I wait for a little bit, probably not too long because I don't have a lot of patience, and then they start bonking the top of the bed from the underneath, scaring the heck out of him.
You were just bonking. Did you be like, I'm a witch?
And then I think I did that.
Do your best, witch.
I'm a witch. Yeah, I'm gonna get ya.
Oh my god. Christopher did have an idea to do a mean auntie episode.
Yeah,
we gotta do that.
So
That's
yeah.
another.
I used to pretend to be the mean auntie. I didn't have to pretend a lot.
No, she was awful.
I was not awful, but yeah. So those are some. I think we've gone from really bad habits to personality traits.
Lines are blurred between
Lines
those.
are blurred.
Yeah. All right, tell me more of your habits. I literally can't think of a single bad habit I have because I'm just like perfect.
You have a habit of when we were together getting really tired by the end of it and getting crabby.
That's you. We do have a limit.
We do.
Yeah.
And we're having to do this particular episode under time constraints, but we're doing okay.
No, I think we're doing great. I feel like you're going to be like, you're going to need to cut X, Y, and Z out.
So I didn't smoke much in my 20s at all, but because one thing, I couldn't inhale. I didn't know how to inhale.
Which is the funniest thing to me.
And so I would sit there and go.
I will say that I think for the past 10 years, we have tried to get my mom to admit that she has smoked marijuana.
No, I didn't.
I still don't believe it. She's a child of the 70s.
I've got like evidence in my diaries about how I wrote how people thought I was such a square.
You were. Something I'm learning about you. This is why when this theme got brought up, we were like, can we actually do this? Because she was not very rebellious.
No, but I was like annoyingly on time for deadlines. Not deadlines, no. For curfew.
Oh, yeah.
Like my sister would want to.
You were a nervous Nelly.
I was kind of like a tattletale.
Yeah.
That's not good.
It's not a good look.
No, but when you're the oldest child, you kind of like take on that role of being a good role model to get in on time and brush your teeth.
That's something you put on yourself. I feel like typically the oldest child is the one that rebels and then gets like punished the most, and then the younger kids are like, the parents are just like, I can't bother.
Yeah. I don't know if that was the case in our case or not, but anyway. I think I'm going to have to look at my notes.
That's okay. Oh, I can talk about one of your habits.
What?
That have to do with this podcast.
Go ahead.
You make me edit too much. And and you silence me. She will give me...
Oh, I can't wait for this.
She will be like, okay, we cannot talk about this specific thing. And so when we were interviewed on the news recently,
ABC,
if you saw, we posted on our Instagram and
Megan Tordusen.
She, about an hour before the news showed up, my mom was like, Hilary, there's just one thing that I really don't want to talk about, and that's sex. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm not gonna be on the news talking about sex. We sit down for our interview. First question she asks is, do you guys talk about sex? And I find the response so funny because I was like, this is the one thing that I'm not allowed to talk about, so I couldn't even say it. I'm like, no, we don't skirt around. I don't know. Not really. No, but if it comes up, we won't not talk about it.
A funny moment. I'm like, oh no, why is she asking us that?
I love it. She's doing her job as a journalist.
But in a podcast like ours, why would we talk about sex? I mean, would you talk about?
Yeah, but I think that's we are talking about your diaries and growing up and like figuring yourself out. So I think it makes sense to wonder if we are, because we're so open with each other that I think it makes sense to like wonder if we are comfortable doing that. And we are. It's just not, I think I'm more comfortable than you are.
Yeah. I mean, if we weren't on the microphone, I don't care.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
There's some things that I want to hold close to me.
Okay.
And during that interview, the other thing that was kind of funny was that they were there with us for 3 hours almost. And the cameraman wanted to get a shot of me thumbing through one of my I only had one with me, I think, and I have like nearly 50 notebooks. I couldn't let him do it because I was worried because of what I might have written on the page, either somebody's first and last name, because I did use first and last names, or some inappropriate swearing, because I did swear in my diary sometimes.
Mom,
maybe
people
a lot.
swear. Can I say a swear right now?
No.
Shit.
So that was kind of frightening.
Yeah.
But it went all right.
I think we did okay.
Yeah.
All in all. It is very hard to like keep perceiving yourself though.
Keep what?
Perceiving yourself over and over again.
What do you mean?
Like perceiving yourself on the news or like seeing yourself in that situation. It's hard to take it. I don't like watching myself.
Oh.
You know?
Because you don't think you look good?
No, it's just, or like I just was like, oh, I said that weird. I would have said that differently. Or like I just feel very critical.
Right. This whole process does make me think about what people who are, really well known or who are constantly in the news or being interviewed or whatever, how hard that must be.
Yeah. Yeah. We really know, we can really empathize with our 30 listeners.
And the fact that we can edit it.
We're always getting stopped in the street and the paparazzi are around. It's so hard. We're doing live interviews constantly.
Thank goodness we're not. Because
I would like to be doing some.
I know, but it's scary.
Yeah, but it's fun.
Yeah.
I think that's why it is fun, because it's a little scary. Okay, do you want me to dive in? Because I'm seeing a note you wrote down when I threw up on a guy's head. And I would like to discuss this. Is this a flaw? What happened here? You wrote it, so don't be mad at me.
Why did I write that down? So,
on a head?
In high school and college, for our graduation in high school, they had what they called, they were generally known as this. It wasn't even like something that what it was called. They were called booze cruises.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
No, I think that was a thing when I was in maybe college.
So I graduated in 1971, and so our graduation event was a booze cruise.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, but it's kind of ridiculous.
Why?
I mean, well, and it's before the whole advent of trying to have sober events and all that. Drinking age was I thought the drinking age was 18 in 1971, but my research, actually the drinking age was not 18 until 1972. So everybody on that boat practically
drunk
was illegally drinking.
Okay, so you were bad.
I didn't say I was. I said everybody. Well, I was.
I'm sorry, but you threw up on a guy's head. So
no, not them. Not
that one. Okay.
So it was it was just a thing that people did, and it was, in retrospect, you're on this boat, like not a fancy boat.
Yeah.
and just sitting there, and people are drinking. That was the extent of it. There
People
wasn't
are
a
drinking.
band or anything. There might have been music playing, but there wasn't a band. Anyway, so when I went to college, I got invited to go to one of these booze cruises. I think on a first date with a guy, and I said yes for some reason, and had a drink or two of something red. I think it was cranberry juice and vodka,
Ooh, a classic.
a classic. And I got sick,
Mm.
and I threw up.
How many did you have?
I don't know.
Were
But it
you
wouldn't have taken
seasick or were you
probably both. It
Yeah.
wouldn't have taken very long.
Yeah, boats and booze is not a good mix.
No. And I threw up from the upper deck. I threw up from the upper deck to the lower deck. Well, so a guy was sticking his head out in the lower deck.
No.
And is that disgusting or what?
That is sickening.
And so,
Did you hide? Did he ever know it was you? Did you say something?
well, you know me pretty well now.
A little too well, to be honest.
What do you think? Do you think I kept it hidden?
Yes. Well, I feel like you probably went down there and was like, I'm sorry I threw up on your head. I'm sorry I threw up on your head. And he's like, I wouldn't have known it was you.
I believe that this is how it happened. The next day in the cafeteria for Sunday brunch, I was feeling fine. I was ready for that good Sunday brunch at college. I went over to talk to the guy that I had gone on the date with, and his other fraternity brothers were around him. And this is how I remember it. One of them said, somebody threw up on me, and I don't know what they were drinking, but it was all red. And I said, that was me. Why would I say that?
Because you are you.
Why would I say that?
That's the most.
Why would I even admit that?
Because you love the story and you love the drama.
That is ridiculous.
That is funny.
That is just ridiculous. Now, I may have to come back in a future episode and look at my diary, because I did write about it.
You did? Because I want to know if he got mad at you. I want to know his reaction in the cafeteria.
I just remember he had dark hair and he was cute.
He was probably just like, why would she say it? Why would she admit that?
I figure that's one of those things where you think the whole fraternity was probably saying, stay away from her.
No. You know what I bet? I bet they're like, that's so funny. She made a joke. She said, oh, that was me.
Yeah, maybe. No, they believed it.
Yeah. The more I think about it.
Because when he said, what did you drink? I probably went on a riff about, oh my gosh, cranberry juice and vodka. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine the Lynn at that point.
Yeah.
Being an idiot.
One time when I worked at a nice restaurant in Boston, a girl got up from the bar and she had been drinking heavily. She stood up. Okay, let me set the scene though, because it's a nice restaurant and there's like an upstairs tavern and like a dining area downstairs, but with a really fancy bar. So she was sitting at the fancy bar downstairs and you have to walk through the dining area to get to the bathroom. And she stood up to go to the bathroom, but she tripped over someone's bag on the ground. And she stands up, trips on the bag, smacks the floor, projectile vomited. Like, this all happened within a second. It was the most shocking.
Did you see it happen?
Yes. It was the most shocking. And she got right up. She was fine. I think she probably needed to puke. But the way she stood up, tripped over, it was like someone had a duffel bag for some reason. Like, it was just like a massive bag. So I would have tripped too. She just falls down. When she smacked the ground, it was like she pushed a button that was like vomit. It just went everywhere. I, knock on wood, don't have any crazy vomiting stories of my own.
We probably should move on from that.
Let's talk about weed.
No, I have nothing to say.
I have something to say.
Okay.
I went on a trip to Amsterdam, and if you know about Amsterdam at all, you can legally smoke and buy marijuana and mushrooms and whatever you want. Not whatever you want, probably. So we're in a foreign country. This is my first time. Oh wait, like
You waited to go to a foreign country.
yeah, that wasn't too smart.
Swift.
Yeah, that wasn't too Swift of me. That wasn't too Taylor Swift of me. But we get these muffins at I think they call them coffee shops there. So it's called a
Good
coffee shop,
trick.
but you can like go in and like smoke a joint and sit in there. But we got these edible muffins and we took a cruise through the canals. And my two friends I was with, they both feel it like almost right away. But I wasn't feeling anything, or so I thought. I feel like I probably was. So I was like, I'm going to eat some more of these. That's great. And that's the last thing you do is say, I don't feel this. I'm going to have some more. Don't ever do that.
Right.
Take this as a lesson from me because we do the cruise and I was like, I was vibing. And then we decided to go to this pizza place once we got off the cruise. And I remember the exact moment that it hit me. Well, first of all, we had to wait for a table to get up and leave. But I think what happened in hindsight is the three of us we felt like it took them an hour and a half to stand up from the table, but we were just standing at the table over these people, staring at them. And they were probably like, get out of here. Why are you standing so close? We're leaving. We sit down, and I remember I look at the menu, and I look up, and I see like a kaleidoscope of my two friends' heads. There's about 45 of them. You know, like when you move your mouse on an old Windows computer and you
right.
just see like the mouse trail behind. Every little movement they made, I saw like 500 of their heads go back and forth. And they knew that I was gone. I was out. I was gone. I was in La La Land. And then the chef brings out the pizza and he made it into a heart and he said, heart pizza for beautiful ladies. And I almost cried. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle that he had said that. I couldn't handle that like a pizza was in a different shape as to what a pizza should be in. Like it was so confusing and stressful. And I was like, I am not beautiful. I can't. This is so scary. And it took hours to get home. And then I physically could not pack my bag to leave. And we were going to London the next day. And I remember they were packing, and I was like, you guys, my limbs don't work. My limbs don't work. And I'm just laying on the bed. And they were like, you need to pack your bags. We have to catch a flight. And we get up the next morning at 3 a.m. And I'm still a little high, but we go to the airport. We're in a foreign country this whole time. We go to the airport, and I'm having a panic attack because I think that crumbs from my muffin are in my bag somehow, and that the drug dogs were going to sniff my bag and I would get detained in a foreign country. But I didn't. That was ridiculous.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So then we get to London, and it's a very quick flight. So we get to London, we put our bags down at our what's it called?
Airport?
No, a hostel?
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Where you were going
Yeah,
to stay?
oh my god. So we put our bags down at the hostel, and then we go right to Buckingham Palace. Immediately see a prince. I was still high. I was like,
You immediately see a prince. What do you mean?
they were coming out. They were leaving the Buckingham Palace.
Which prince?
Well, the woman behind all of us goes, it's Willie. It's Willie. And I was like, am I still high, or do we come to London and within 30 minutes immediately see the prince? It was the most.
How close were you? Like
right at the gate. Then there weren't a ton of people because usually like it's like a whole production when like they're coming in and out, but he was just like casually leaving. So I think we just happened to get there at the right time. We saw him in the car. He was being driven in a black car.
So could you see his face?
Yeah.
That's really cool. How come I didn't
It's
know
Willie. Yeah, I probably told you that.
You probably did, but
Yeah.
it seems like I'd remember it.
But anyways, that is a story about why you don't take drugs.
Yes, exactly.
But I did have a good time.
Oh, I don't even know how to respond.
I kind of want to give you an edible.
I'm not. I'm not doing it. Okay.
So you've never smoked before, but you've smoked cigarettes.
Yeah, I did for a while.
You smoked them for a long time.
No, I'd smoke them when I would. I had a friend who worked for a cigarette company. She was a
Oh,
salesperson, and she worked for a company called Liggett and Myers, and they had these menthol cigarettes that I liked.
what is the
It
difference
it,
between?
you know, like when you eat a mint, the minty fresh
Oh,
taste. So it's
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
that's menthol. They don't even make menthol anymore, or but they
Interesting.
marketed them as like a sexy cigarette for women in particular.
I want a sexy cigarette.
Well, cigarettes were marketed as if they were very
And to be
sexy. I can't say it. Sexy.
to be fair, cigarettes make you look cool.
Well,
But you
they
have
do not now.
Yeah, but you have to be like extra hot smoking one. You can't
I
be
don't
like
think
an average Joe. If I see like a hot guy with tattoos,
an average Joe.
I don't want to date him. I don't want to marry him, but I do think to myself, damn, he does look cool.
If he's smoking a cigarette,
Yeah.
wow. I mean, it used to be so ubiquitous and so accepted.
I just want to clarify that I think it's disgusting.
Right.
And I've never myself
Right.
had a cigarette. But anyways.
Yeah. I mean, they used to be everywhere. You look sometimes in movies. Last when we were watching Oppenheimer last
Yeah.
night, and Oppenheimer was smoking the whole time, no
Yeah.
matter where he was.
Yeah.
But nobody would think too much about it.
No. Yeah, it's crazy.
But in cigarette, it's so expensive now.
I saw somewhere that like Gen Z is smoking more.
Really?
Yeah. Like millennials, we didn't really pick up smoking because we saw all of our parents and their health issues. Like my dad. My dad smoked from when he was like 10 years old
Yeah.
to his late 50s, early 60s. It's crazy.
Yeah. I I I did smoke a little bit when I would go out, or a little bit in college, but not
That's what happened.
not really.
You know, before my husband and I ever dated, we were just friends. He tried to push my first ever cigarette on me after we went out to dinner with like a bunch of coworkers, and they all smoked.
Did he smoke?
Yeah, he smoked one. He didn't smoke, but he did it in
Occasionally.
that like setting. Yeah, but he hasn't since. But he was like, "Come on, don't be a prude." And I'm like, "I have never touched a cigarette and I never will. That's going to be my thing. Like I don't ever cuz I have an addictive personality. I know I would like it.
Right.
And so I can't ever indulge in it." But yeah, he tried to push my first cigarette on me. I can't believe I married that guy.
I remember being in the back of the station wagon when I was a kid, and they had candy cigarettes.
Oh yeah, I used to get them out of the
and
ice cream truck.
pretend we were smoking.
Oh yeah,
thinking we were so cool.
you know what I did that with was the thin small pretzels. Courtney and I would take them and be like, yes.
So ridiculous.
You know what a bad habit is?
What?
Trolls on the internet.
That's not a bad habit.
Get a life.
That's not a bad habit. I
You know,
suppose
a bad habit is not talking into your. No, the habit is trolling people on the internet.
Well, that might be the habit, but I think it's also a situation or a habit if people take that too seriously. But I
People do take it too
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
I had to block a lady who said I was being mean to my mom, but she just didn't understand us.
Yeah, that's when
Do you think I'm mean to you?
No, but I think that we're so open and honest with each other that many people are not like that. They don't have that relationship with their
No, I
parent.
think we're just very dry with each other too. So we sometimes we're like, what are you talking about? And then we move on. That's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about this episode?
What time is it?
I don't know.
1:15. I feel moderately good. I mean, It's a little unhinged.
I just want to hang out.
Yeah.
My favorite kind of podcast is where I feel like there are two people just FaceTiming me in the room. And we're just here
That
to
must be
hang out
the
with us.
same kind of style of podcast 30 people like. Don't you
It's
think?
working out real well for us. Today, if you have been a long time listener, first time caller, I wish we had more people that would call in with their stories.
More people. We need
We
one
need
person.
one. I know one time we tried to email us with your stories.
Yeah.
We want to talk about. No one's done that. So if you do want to do that, mymothersdiaries@gmail.com.
Yes, please do.
But
We're going to run out of stories at some point.
today, I don't know if we will run out of stories, but we do want guests.
Yes, and we have some.
We're gonna film with our first ever guest this weekend. Next weekend.
Yeah, we hope to. Yes.
Next weekend. Yeah. So what I was gonna say is I forgot.
Guests, and they could, if they want to be our guest.
Oh no. That's not what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that if you are a long time listener, you've actually listened to any of these podcasts at all, and you heard the story about the car wash. We did today go in a car wash for probably, I think this must be the next, like the last time we were in a car wash was the one we got stuck in together.
Yeah, so we braved we stood up to our fears.
We did, and we did good. Except
we
there
did
was a
well.
big, we did done good.
We did well.
We did done good. There's a big bird poop on my window, so the only reason we got a car wash is because my mom didn't want to look at that any longer. But we get the whole car wash, and
it's still
there. It is relentless. That thing is not moving.
Well, on that note, if this is your first podcast of ours that you've ever listened to,
I'm sorry about that.
Give us a second chance.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about that if this is your first, but I think it would be. I think it was fun. I think we had a good time.
Me too.
And it might be shorter than usual.
That's fine.
But yeah. We are going to do a little thrift haul for you guys on TikTok now after this.
Okay.
You ready for that?
I'm ready.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.